We're joined today by musician Michael Gira. He is the founder of the band Swans. They've got a new album out, The Beggar, and they'll also be playing at the Fine Line in Minneapolis, September 20th. Michael, how's it going today?
Good. Thank you for doing this.
Yeah, thank you for joining me. I appreciate it.
You betcha.
Well, Michael, if the listeners missed it somehow, I know you've been back with Swans for quite a few years now, and you've got a new album out, The Beggar. Can you tell the listeners a bit about the new album?
I'm utterly incapable of that. I'm sorry. When I listen to the album, it just sounds like ones and zeros to me. I can't hear it anymore. It's a new album, and it's by Swans, and it's very good. That's all I could say.
Well, I know this one, like the last album, Leaving Meaning, is kind of spread out over 2 discs. It seems like maybe the COVID cancellations and all that over the last few years really inspired you to create some new music here.
Well, I think the COVID experience was the opposite of inspiration. It was more like being buried in a vat of jello, warm jello, and trying to breathe. But after a short period of time, I realized I had to climb out of this vat and start to make work again. So I did.
Can you talk a bit about how the last 2 albums came to be? I know you released kind of like in-between albums, I guess you'd call it. I don't know if you call them demos, but you kind of use those to fund the official albums. I'm not sure I know anyone else who has done that before.
Well, people do these fundraiser things now kind of regularly, but we started doing these handmade CDs of either live recordings or new songs around the year 2000 in order to fund the studio albums. Fortunately, we have a very dedicated cadre of people that care about the music. So in this way, we've been able to fund some records which required quite a large budget in comparison to what our actual sales are. So we're able to make music that sounds the way we want it to sound, thanks to the support of people that enjoy the music.
Who's playing with you on The Beggar? It seems like you've got a lot of people kind of collaborating with this time around.
Well, there's a lot of different people. The main group is myself, Larry Mullins, who played in Angels of Light. He played drums and keyboards and things. He also has played with Iggy Pop, the Stooges, and Nick Cave. And now with us, he's playing a little bit of drums and mostly keyboards, mellotron, piano, organ. And then Phil Paleo, who's played in Swans, this entire version from 2010 onwards, he plays drums. Christopher Pravdika plays bass guitar, loops, and different sounds, keyboard sounds. Christoph Hahn has played with Swans for a very, very long time, but he's playing lap steel and loops. Dana Schechter, who used to play in Angels of Light, is now playing, also she's playing bass and more lap steel and loops. And I think that's it. Is that 6 people? Yes.
Is that a better setup for you to have kind of a revolving door of people coming in rather than have a set band like you did back in the first run?
Well, actually, from 2010 to 2018, I had a very stable group. That was myself, Norman Westberg on guitar, Christopher Pravdika on bass, Phil Paleo on drums, Christoph Hahn on lap steel, and Thor Harris played vibes and orchestral bells and some other drums. That was a very set group. It lasted quite a long time. But that group kind of peaked at a certain point, and I decided it needed to become a kind of revolving door again, which is something I did with Swans in the past.
Well, I know you're on tour now and coming to Minneapolis here to the Fine Line, September 20th. That should be a great venue, I think, for these new songs. And I know you've got a lot of Swans fans here, so that's going to be a great time.
Well, I hope it is. Okay. But yes, I'm looking forward to playing in Minneapolis. And I have no what else to say. I don't know what to say. But the music does not really resemble the record. We've taken the songs and stretched them into a different shape, but it's very expressive, certainly. So I hope that people find something useful in it.
Is it tough to play some of these songs on stage? I know there's always been a lot of intensity and moving parts in Swan songs. I must.
Well, we don't try to replicate what's on record. We use that as a starting point, and then it just becomes something else. I mean, right now, I guess if you compared the two different versions, you would have the recorded version, which might be, say, like a finely articulated Renaissance painting. And then you have the live version, which is more like German expressionism. So they're completely different.
Well, I know it's been 40 years since Swans was formed, and you've obviously been cited as an influence by a lot of high-profile bands and musicians. That's got to be cool for you to know, the impact that your music has had on people over the years.
The most important thing for me is when I meet people after the show and I hear someone earnestly tell me that the music has had a positive effect on their life. That's what makes me feel the best.
Well, what's next for Swans? Do you think you'll continue on with the band like the setup you have now, or do you think you'll maybe move back to more solo stuff here down the road?
Well, I'm sure I'll do more solo stuff, but yes, I'm going to keep the band going until I drop, probably. It'll have to adjust to my coming infirmities, I'm sure, but it's just a moniker I have. It's a name I have for the music I make, so I'll definitely keep it going.
Excellent. Well, I know the Beggar is just out now. Is there anything else maybe in the works, or something the fans should be watching out for?
Well, we have a new piece we're performing that's not recorded, and it's about, I don't know, probably 15 minutes long, maybe a little longer. And then there's another piece I've written, and I'm working on another one. So gradually a new album is accruing. So hopefully by the time all this touring we're doing now is completed, we'll start recording a new album.
Awesome. Will it be the similar setup, I guess, as the last couple with the
yeah, I mean, I'm always
album?
looking to change things sonically. So we'll see what things sound like. But I like working with people that I know and trust. So probably, the same people. And we always get an assortment of people to do overdubs and add to the arrangements. So that'll take place as well.
Excellent. Well, I'm looking forward to that. And I love the new album as well. And
glad that you found the album worthwhile. Thank you.
Yeah, it's definitely something that you need to kind of sit and digest, I think, all at once. It's not really something you should wander off or do other things with. I don't know if a lot of people really make albums like that anymore. So it's a nice change of pace.
Good. That's good to hear. Thank you.
Michael, again, it's been an honor speaking with you, and the new album's great, and I'm looking forward to the show here at the Fine Line, and thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it.
Thank you, sir. Good luck to you.
And again, that was Michael Gira from Swans. Their new album, The Beggar, is out now, and they'll be playing at the Fine Line in Minneapolis on September 20th.